I remember we were all in Japan at the same time last year.
Yeah.
You ended up buying what watch?
I bought a Longenzone, a datograph. It's a platinum datograph. I believe the reference number is like 403.035. It's a platinum datograph, and the watch is like iconic because it's a chronograph, and it's one of the most iconic chronographs that was ever released. I think it was released in like 1998, and it was the watch that changed high-end watchmaking, or high horology as people call it, because it forced brands like Patek Philippe and AP to make their movements in-house, because prior to that watch, they were all manufactured and modified from a company called Lumania. It was the Lumania movement. So all these high-end watch companies, they would buy that movement, they would tweak it, and they would put it into their watches. In 1998, during like the watch whatever gathering that they do, that watch came out and like stunned the world. And from that moment onward, the new benchmark for a high-end watch was an in-house movement.
And so then what did you pay for that watch, and what is the current value of it?
I want to say that because we talked to Nico Leonard, we talked to like another watch guy, and got his opinion on it, and they said that it was most likely the cheapest datograph in the whole world, like that I found in Japan. And I asked the sales associate, I was like, when was this watch listed? And they literally said yesterday. I was like, are you just saying that? And they're like, no, we just got it in yesterday. And I look at the reference number, and it matches to like my birthday, like how old I am, like crazy stuff. And I was not planning on buying it, but I've always wanted one of those watches. So I paid $54K for it. 54 grand.
It was the cheapest one by probably $20,000.
Yeah. So like, I think the next cheapest one, I don't know what the next cheapest one on the market is, but probably in the 70s, like low 70s.
And this was at a time when the US to yen conversion rate was really good.
Yeah.
Like it had just ticked.
And there's no sales tax.
And there's no sales tax.
Yeah.
And so you got a smoking hot deal.
I think so. Like if I wanted to get my money out of it, I think I easily could.
So I'm curious, why are watches in Japan such a good deal? I've seen so much media on the secondhand luxury watch stores in Japan and how you can go and get like the craziest deals imaginable on some of the nicest, watches like Rolex, Pateks, APs over there. Why is that?
I think, well, at least part of the reason is because anything that's used in Japan, just because like their culture, they keep everything in such like neat condition. It's like pristine. They have things that are like vintage from like the 80s and they look brand new. And they also don't like to, like Japanese people don't like to buy secondhand. They always go for new. I think because culturally maybe there's like bad things associated maybe with like buying used things. So from that reason alone, in Japan, their market is not necessarily for Japanese people. So all the people that are buying the watches are foreigners that are flying into Japan. So that's a smaller market than the entire country of Japan, obviously. So I think the prices are generally lower. At least that's one of the reasons why I think that.
Yeah, there's more supply than demand.
For sure.
Japan is also really against anything counterfeit. And if they're caught selling any fake watch or any like kind of Frankenstein watch, they're going to be blacklisted forever. And these businesses have been around for decades with perfect ratings. So you don't really have to worry about like getting ripped off or getting like a fake watch.
And we asked, we're like, do you guys sell fake watches? They're like, no, you can't do that here.
Now, what's also interesting is that I heard that a lot of Japanese people believe that when you buy a secondhand watch, the original owner's soul comes with that watch. Like their soul is somehow attached to it.
Okay.
And so when you buy that watch, you get a part of their soul. And so it's not considered like good to, you don't know what you're getting.
Right.
In that sense. And so they just don't want to buy secondhand.
So from a culture perspective, yeah, there's a little bit of superstition to it.
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah.
But you get a great deal. So the other interesting thing is that they will not really negotiate. Is that just they price it at a point where like if it sells, great, but if it doesn't, like I tried to negotiate a Zenith Rolex Daytona, and I was saying like, hey, can you bring this price down here? Can we save here? Wouldn't do it. And then Macy found a ring that she wanted. And I'm like, okay, but if I buy this, can we throw in the ring at like half price? No. The most they did is they said, we're going to throw in a complimentary, like an extra Rolex box.
Right.
And we'll give you the extra box if you buy it. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't negotiate either.
No. So that's part of the reason why, I would say.
But what's cool is that they can take Amex, which is really nice. And they don't charge you an extra fee.
Well, we did
Why are you laughing, Jack? Because
That's just funny.
No, because the points, just imagine putting that on a 2%, or imagine the Robinhood credit card, 3% back, or the Coinbase card and get 4%
Gemini,
back.
get some Bitcoin back.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's like, not only are you getting no sales tax, a favorable exchange rate, but you could then put it on a credit card to get an extra 4% back.
Right. We bought our watches within a day of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was...
How much did you spend on your watch?
I think total, including, because I count the exchange rate and I count also getting points back on the credit card. It was like 19 something.
And what do you think it's worth?
Low end. I'm talking like fire sale, 21. And that's like fire sale. I got to sell it in 24 hours. I think it's probably worth 24.
Wow.
Did I tell you that I bought a ring in Japan and I appraised it and what happened?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I didn't tell you that story?
Mm-mm.
Oh, dude, we were walking right by that store that Graham and I bought our watches from. It was called Okura. And I look and I'm like, dude, that's a really cool ring. It was a women's black opal ring, okay? And I'm, for whatever reason, just obsessed, as Graham is like with aquariums, I'm like obsessed with Australian opals. And for whatever reason, I just know like disproportionately more than most people know about opals. And I was like, dude, that ring is so cool. So I go in the store and I'm like, how much is that ring? And they're like, $600. I'm like, there's no way this ring is $600. It's a platinum ring with diamonds and a black opal stone that's like 2 or 3 carats. And I'm like, this is a $10,000 ring. There's no way it's $600. And I was like, is this an Australian opal or an Ethiopian opal? Because there's 2 types of different opals. Ethiopian opal, which is, I think, hydrophonic, which means it absorbs water, or doesn't, one of the two. And then the other opal is just Australian opal, which repels water. It does not absorb water. But they have different characteristics. And I was like, which one is that? And they told me that it was an Ethiopian opal. And I was like, that's not an Ethiopian opal. That looks like an Australian opal. I know my opals, okay? And everyone in the store who was shopping there, they were like, no, that's definitely Ethiopian because Australian opals are only black. I'm like, that's BS. I know that's not true. So I gamble it and I risk it. I'm like, I'll buy it, right? $600. And I'm bringing it back to the US and I go to get it approved or appraised. And the appraisal came in at like $9,500. A ring that I bought for $600.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy.
I guess you never know when that niche knowledge is going to come to your benefit.
Like that was like, again, so Jack and I talked about this. Like, you guys ever like go through life and then something happens and you're like, I live in a simulation.
All the time.
Right? Like we talked about how, this is a true story. It was like midnight. It was like past midnight. And I was in a random arcade store with me and my friends in Kyoto, of all places, in Japan, Kyoto.
I don't even think I knew you were in Japan.
We had no idea that each of us were in Japan, but we were in Japan together. And I look and I'm like, dude, that's freaking Jack. We go up, like, the odds of us being in a city that we didn't plan to meet at past midnight at a random arcade store in a city like Kyoto. Like, that was insane. And just like the whole random knowledge of like an opal ring. And I'm like, what are the odds that like I would find this random store that had this random ring that I knew so much about?
What have you done with the ring?
I still have it. I got it appraised and I'm keeping it. And, once I get married, that'll be like my proposal ring.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
Paid for the trip too.
Well, if I sell it, but I'm not going to sell it.
But it does go to show you that if you come in with some knowledge,
right,
basically go to Japan, buy the right thing, and pay for the entire trip and basically get the trip for free.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Life insurance is one of those things that makes sense for a lot of people out there, but most people just put it off because it feels complicated, expensive, or time-consuming, but it doesn't have to be thanks to our sponsor, Fabric.
Fabric by Gerber Life is term life insurance that you can get done today. It's made for busy parents like you. It's all online. It's on your schedule right from your couch. You could be covered in under 10 minutes with no health exam required.
If you have kids, and especially if you're young and healthy, the time to lock in a low rate is now. And even if you have life insurance through your employer, it may not offer you enough protection for your family, and it usually does not follow you if you leave your job. Fabric offers flexible, high-quality policies that fit your family and your budget, including options like $1 million in coverage for less than $1 a day.
Fabric is partnered with Gerber Life, trusted by millions of families for over 50 years. There's no risk, and they even have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can cancel at any time. Fabric also has free digital wills, tools to invest in your kid's future, and more, all right from your phone.
Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to protect their family. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/ICHclips.
Again, that's meetfabric.com/ICHclips. MEET fabric.com/ICHclips. The link is also down below in the description. Enjoy.